Yes, yes. All right, good afternoon. Give you an opportunity to come in. Thank you for joining. All right, thank you for coming in.
Are you ready? The wait is
is
over.
over.
Young Preacher's
Preacher's
Advice,
the first ever
written
publication
from
from
RevAndreCook,
RevAndreCook,
prophet,
prophet, overseer,
now
now
author, a
a
must-have
must-have
in your
in
library.
your life.
Young Preacher's
Young Preacher's
Advice,
Advice,
Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Now
Now
available
on
on
Amazon.com,
or to
or
order
to order your copy of Young Preacher's Advice Volume 1.
Call
Call
866-922-6995,
866-922-6995,
extension
extension
118.
118.
Good afternoon.
You don't have to worry, made it right. Darkness is over, welcome to the rest of the day.
Something is going to happen to you.
Change your life, change your day, change your life, change your day, change your life, change your day.
Good afternoon.
Change your day, change your life, change your day, change your life, change your day, change your life, change your day, change your day.
Are you ready to be empowered, enlightened, and enriched? Get ready. Here's your host for the Change Your Day, Change Your Life Empowerment Conference call, Prophet Andre Cook.
Good afternoon to you, and to you. It is the day that the Lord has made. Rejoice. Be exceedingly glad in it. You made the wake-up call. Your beds did not become your cooling board. You're in your right mind with the activity of your limbs. May I encourage you to rejoice. Be exceedingly glad in it. Saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized. Got Jesus on your mind. And you are running for your life. And not only should you rejoice and be glad in this day, you should also be thankful in the fact that we are in this space together. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. You know, the Bible assures us of several things, but one of the things that it assures us is the abiding presence of the Lord. The abiding presence of the Lord. It says to us that where two or three are gathered in His name, He is there in the midst. He is in the midst of those who have gathered, in His name, and so we are here in this space gathered in His name. And it's sacred, it's hallowed. So where the church assembles is the house of God. And whether it's in the sanctuary, the cathedral, or an open air venue or space, what makes it the house of God, it is because of the presence of God. And where there is the presence of God, there is the bread of God. Heaven, feed me till I want no more. And you cannot separate his presence from his power. And he always desires his presence and power to be in the midst of his people. So grateful that you have elected to come in. I do apologize for the lateness of my arrival this afternoon. All week long, I've had several problems, and I've had to move to another space. But this morning, I was assured that maintenance was going to come in at 10 a.m. They were scheduled to be here at 10 a.m., but they did not show up until 11:30, and I made it clear, a quarter to 10 minutes of, I have to sign in to my daily live and conference call, and it said, well, we're likely to be done by 12:30. Well, they put a rush on it, but that was about what I've been on now, about 6 minutes, about 5 minutes ago or so, and you could actually hear them in the background. That's why I just waited to come. They were doing some drilling, several issues I had here in this space in my unit. And I'm certain some of it is just diabolical interference and distractions and things of that nature. But I do my best to present a quality presentation. That was my commitment, to make sure that I give you a quality presentation, and with that, not being distracted or disruptive by the information. And so I actually had to reboot the system. It's just been one of those weeks, and what's been going on outside with the shifting and change of the weather seems to want to happen on the inside. But I'm grateful to you, and the numbers are slowly climbing. So do me a favor, go ahead, tag, like, and share. Let those who know. I didn't even get a chance to change out of my morning casual wear, so I hope it isn't a problem. Hey, yeah, hey, son, that's just New York coming. We need you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jay, I've been saying I think it's time. It's just absolutely that time. Yeah, and I think that it's just about that time. I think I've been saying it to Keisha. Uh, I think I'm going to come back across the bridge. I actually I love where I am, but just the constant challenges. And so, and then I'm here all along without the support that I'm certain I could have if I was there. Oh, hush up, hush up, hush up. Keisha, yeah. So I think that's the move in 2024, 2025. Yeah. Nope, no recording, Prophet McBain. That is my plans. My plans is to do lunch after the live today. I may have to put it off until tomorrow. Oh, so, but I'm grateful. You take time out and you schedule your time to be on air with me. And that's the challenges with lives, doing the lives and not pre-recordings. Pre-recordings you could set to start right at set time, but when you're attempting to go live, well, when you do go live, you never know what problem you're likely to face until you face that problem. And so I'm grateful. But yep, Prophet McBain, Angelina, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She has made it possible for me to do lunch today, and I'm certainly grateful. All right, let me shout you out. Deborah, good afternoon. It's time to shout you out. Rosa, blessings, blessings. JT, what it be? Hey, Samantha, blessings to you. Mother Torres, blessings to you. You got again. That's one of the things I want to talk to you about is the commercial. I so enjoy the live presentation, and I think a lot of it has to do with Alicia Walker. Blessings to you. Hey, Godmother, love you. Minister Wynn, God bless. Blessings to you. Angelina, again, good afternoon to you. Mother Connie, good afternoon to you. Amanda, good afternoon to you as well. Shayna, blessings to you. Dee Dee, blessings. Tanisha, blessings. Hey, Princess, blessings to you. And of course, Prophet McBain. Yeah, Hey, I appreciate you, son. Yeah, I might will just mention that I am a hey, Mother Newman, blessings. God bless Mother Newman. God bless you and Bishop and the entire Newman family and the church. God bless. Hey, Lynette, how you feeling? Are you coming along? Takara, Car 54, how are you feeling? How are you doing? You crossed my mind today. What it be? Florida. Oh, no, this is Antoya. Hey, Antoya, how are you? Got a new addition to the family. Katie Ann has given birth to Kaylin, and so we congratulate her. Samantha says, blessing, Prof. Can you please help me with that? Okay. All right. Jernita, I pray that I said that, pronounce your name correctly, Jernita Atkinson. Blessings. What part of or what city are you viewing from today, Jernita? All right. Love Clinic last night, a love charge. And, I didn't get an opportunity to forward the recording to Elder Lawhold, but as soon as I am done, I'm going to make that happen. Yep. They're missing the evening love charge out teaching New Haven. I'm going to be on Sunday evening. Let me see real quick. Sunday evening. I am scheduled to be in. I have 4 services on Sunday. I am going to be with Prophet Leak of the Glory Summit, executing the mandate. It's being held on Sunday evening at 6 p.m. at the Courtyard Marriott. That's 780 Bridgeport Avenue, Shelton, Connecticut. Yep. So, Sister Jernita Atkins, it would be lovely to meet you in person. Yeah, at the summit. You know about it? Okay. Yeah, I'm scheduled to be there. I'm excited to minister for Prophet Leak. We've had some tremendous fellowships in the past, and the summit, the peak. I'm always excited about ministering from some. Yes, Sunday is going to be a busy day, 9 a.m. I come to you live with the Sunday morning inspiration edition of Live with Pastor Andre Cook, and that's exclusive to the social media platforms. I'll be here in this same space, whether you're viewing me on X, formerly known as Twitter, or Instagram, or Facebook, or on YouTube. Follow me, YouTube. I'm going to be working real soon on a better or greater presentation and quality presentation on YouTube, even considering developing a podcast. And so then on Sunday, revival service continues. Revival service continues. The Life Chapel of Hollis, Queens, New York, and I certainly Would love for you to be a part of that. You who can, I'm not here to prophesy global, national, jurisdictional, regional, or statewide revival. There is an experience of revival at the Light Chapel of Hollis, Queens, New York, 182-25 Jamaica Avenue, Hollis, Queens, New York. And it's taking place at the hour of deliverance with the message centered on deliverance and the experience of deliverance, setting the captives free, demon oppression, demon possession, all forms of sicknesses, diseases, all forms of oppression. We're seeing the pages of our Bible come alive. We are mirroring it by his power, the works of Jesus Christ. So gather with us as we begin in prayer at 12:30, and then the live presentation comes to you at 1 p.m. But there's nothing like the in-person experience. And so if you are capable of doing so, I would encourage you to do so. Join us in person on Sunday. Yeah. All right. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunity to minister to you and to fellowship and worship with you on this coming Sunday. All right. Janita says, I seen you at Apostle Gibbs with my sisters. Are you one of those? You guys wrecked the church. Are you one of those? Y'all are singers. I think you guys told me. Are you one of those? You guys. You tore that church up. We had a time. Oh, what a time! What a time! What a time! Oh, we had a time. Matoya, Westbury, number 2. Pastor loves you. Clifton, hey, Brother Young, man, you and your wife are dear to my heart, and I appreciate your constant support and fellowship. Hey, y'all promised me when I would come to the area that you guys was going to come. And in addition to that, I got to get y'all to New York City to sing for me and to worship with me. And I love your energy. My God, you ladies love the Lord. Y'all wrecked that place. Jonetta, Westbury, number 1. All right, and the apostle has joined us. Bishop, His Grace, the Bishop Vincent L. Greaves Sr. Praise God for you all. All right, it's Friday. Friday is our seed of $24 for the year of 2024. Derivatives of 24, 48, 3 times, 4 times. Or the person says, well, I don't have a seed of $24. Your best would be appreciated. Why don't you sow the seed of $12? That would be half. And today is the 6th day of the week. So a seed of $6. And then for the person who says, well, I'm somewhere in between. Why don't you sow a seed of $16 for the 16th day of this month? On the bottom is the way by which you can sow. Cash App, $, RevAndreCook, PayPal, RevAndreCook, ZELLE, RevAndreCook at LL.com. Ministry website, AndreCookMinistries.com. Corresponding address is Andre Cook Ministries, 19 High Ridge Road, Suite 8244, Stamford, Connecticut, 06905. And I thank you in advance for your giving. Remember, also text those letters ACM to 866-922-2147 to receive ministry updates. For instance, 7:30 p.m. tonight, I'll be joined by council intercessors and prophets. There will be corporate prayer at 7:30, 8 p.m., a song of worship. And then at 8 p.m., I am continuing our lesson. It is Love Month at the chapel, so we have the Love Clinic. I am going to be continuing. We're going to recall and recap the 25 rules for success in love. That's right. And then on next week, I'll be introducing our next subject matter. We're spending the month in these spaces talking about love, I know what I was saying. So on Sunday, 12:30, then at 4 p.m. promptly, right at 4 p.m., I am going to be the guest of the Community Church of Christ with its pastor, Bishop Jamel G. Mitchell, for a fellowship at 4 service. And that is going to be located at 167-04 108th Avenue, that's Jamaica, New York, and then immediately leaving there, heading straight to Shelton. So 4 services. Have y'all already began to pray for me? Come on here. Have y'all began to pray for me? Janetta, may the blessings of the Lord make you rich. May they be a visitation that would leave you with 0 debt. May all your debts be eliminated as a harvest hits your life in Jesus' name. Nope. Elder Toms, are you not a part of the blast? Because the blast went out that there was no Zoom on Thursday. So we decided to, since it was it Thursday? Wait, no. No, there was a Zoom on Thursday. I'm not certain. Well, Elder Toms, you got to do something. You got to do it, and you should do it today, unless you just don't want to be a part of it. But every day, notices and updates go out. If there's any change to the schedule, a blast is sent out via the there was the blast. So at the times, I would encourage you strongly to text those letters ACM to 866-922-2147. And if you do so, you'll be a recipient. Apostle Greaves, I certainly appreciate that. What's Valentine's Day on Thursday? I don't remember. Yeah. That was just yesterday. Wait, no. Today is Friday, the 16th. Yesterday was the 15th. So she's asking, was there no about the Zoom on Thursday? So there's been a Zoom was it Thursday that I had problems and got kicked out? Yesterday was Thursday. So other times, there was last night. Yeah. So she's asking about Thursday. All right. Yeah. Apparently there's an issue with retrieving. All right. We appreciate your giving, and the Lord bless you and fix that problem for you. All right. You guys are saying Wednesday. There was no Zoom on Wednesday. That's when the change occurred. Yeah, it was Valentine's Day, Love Day, so forth, and a number of our couples and various people were notifying me and saying they weren't going to be able to make it. So I made the decision. Hey, y'all, I've been teaching on love and relationships and dating your significant other, your spouse frequently, and so it was Love Day. So I decided, hey, as we do when we cannot gather, we commit a half hour to a time of personal prayer. Enjoy your loved ones. So there was no Zoom. Thank you, Kia. There was no Zoom on Wednesday. We were on Thursday. Okay. The times they they're sending it to you. So I hope that this brings clarity. Yes, there was on Thursday. Okay. Angelina is one of our most faithful to our evening Zoom calls. All right. Amanda, thank you. You're so kind. I certainly appreciate you. It kept saying that the host is not on last night. Oh, I don't know what that was about. You might have had the wrong number. I don't know what that was about, because we definitely, because it was word charge Thursday. And I now remember, because and it was pre-recorded. It wasn't pre-recorded. It was recorded, and I got to forward the recording to Elder Lawhold, who makes sure that it's disseminated and shared with those who desire it. And then we finished on last night the last five relationship rules. And I remember, because we spent some time there with the council of prophets, and the couples offered their. We had over 65 years and 8 months worth of marriage experience between Elder Mark Davis and his wife, Minister Monica Davis, his mother, MIT, and Prophet Nora Davis, Minister Victor Greaves, and his wife Kayla. Then there was Elder Monifa Walker and her husband, Minister John Walker. Then Elder Arlene McBain, Prophet of God. She shared because the last rule is who remembers what the last rule is? The last rule of the 25, which I believe is the most important of all 25, but whatever works. Whatever works, whatever works. And hey, where you be, Pastor Nicole Elaine? You know, you and Godmother is so missed, man. The church services were tremendous Sunday nights, but most of all, the frequency in which you and Mother Bessie would come and would share and get your blessing and go to dance. And Bessie, you finally sticking your head in here. I haven't seen you. I'm told you have been on. I just hadn't seen you. And you know, as I talked on yesterday, give those who are dear to you the gift of recognition. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Other times I don't know what happened, but we definitely was on, and it was the usual Thursday night word charge, and I taught at length, and we were on a little longer than usual. That's not, I remember it well. Yeah, whatever works. That Elder Arlene McBain, Prophet of God. I think of all of those rules, all of the rules. That's the most important. And so I think this is a great segue to slip into our teaching on wisdom seeds for relationships. And, you know, rule number 3, just as an excerpt and an introduction for some, a reminder of others. I encourage you, if you want your relationship with your spouse to work, number 3, behave every now and then like children. You know, a pillow fight, a gentle wrestling match. It doesn't hurt the relationship. It can actually help both of you return and continue to enjoy the relationship. You know, one of the challenges is if you don't do anything to ignite and stimulate your passion for each other, and that warm, fuzzy, affectionate feeling, the relationship will move to a staleness. And anything that is stale is considered unhealthy. You know, stale bread becomes molded bread, and you discard it. All right. Number 4 was be spontaneous in your affection or with your affection. Be spontaneous. Don't always wait for special occasions or moments to express your love. Spontaneity or spontaneous surprises are always happier than planned surprises. And then I close with this. I close with number 25. Whatever works. Remember, there are similarities in relationships, but no relationship is alike. Instead of learning from someone else's relationship, why don't you pay attention to your own? And this is not disrespecting the counsel of others or the examples of others, but there is enough about your relationship that you can learn from your own relationship through its successes and its failures. You know, Prophet McBain and her husband, 25 years. Uh, uh, Elder Monique Walker, Minister John Walker, 25 years. Uh, uh, Mark and Monica, I believe, 15 years. 8 months, Victor and Kayla. And then, so actually we had 111 years. 111 years of experience, because Mother Davis and Elder Davis, if I'm correct, did she say 45 years? I believe she said they have been married, and we saluted her because well, everyone was open and transparent and not translucent, but she shared with us some very powerful truths and about their experience, and she talked about it. It's her story to tell. She's not in this space today, so I don't want to share what she shared without her being here or in this space. But it was powerful. It was powerful. And one of the takeaways that it seemed like everyone took from the conversation and the teaching last night was, especially those who were married, had they had this level of teaching years ago or even before they got married, then their choices and conduct would have been different. And, you know, oftentimes that's the difference in perpetuating failings or a perpetuated success. Is knowledge. You know, marriage, you know, is a wonderful thing. Everything that God establishes, when it is done his way, is a wonderful experience, but it doesn't mean it isn't a tried experience. That's good right there. Are you with me? That's good right there. Come on here. That's good right there. Come on here. Hmm? Hey, viewing from the UK. Wow, greetings from the UK. Naja Naz, it is good to be seen and viewed by you. Instagram from the UK. Ronald, blessings to you, who says, "Oh, amen." Thank you. It's just powerful that you guys are joined and you're part of today's discussion and conversation. So let me shift from this. Praise God, Apostle Powell. I don't know why I always laugh when you say the way that you present that God's man of faith and power. Grace and peace to you, man of God. Glad that you've paused and have stuck your head in here. All right, yeah. Our prophet message: join the conclave. That is where it all happens here. We strongly encourage you again to join us nightly for prayer, and then the moment in the Word. We begin with corporate prayer, then we shift to a moment in the Word. And again, it's Love Month, so there are a number of love chats and the Love Clinic. And in the Love Clinic, I'm teaching, you know, next week I'm going to talk about intentional love, loving intentionally. And before the month is over, I'm going to be sharing with you, is he or she the right one for you? Is she or he the right one for you? Um, and are you gifted for marriage? Are you called to marriage? Are you gifted with the ministry uh, of singleness? Yeah, 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 yeah. And then also the 10 top reasons why you should date your spouse frequently. Yeah. So we've got a lot of information to cover as the month grows towards an end. Yeah, 5 reasons, or rather 5 signs that he or she is the right one for you. We're going to be discussing it. Are they willing to compromise? Do they listen to your concerns and feelings? Do they notice when something is wrong and ask you about it? Do they value your opinion? Do they appreciate you? Those are the 5 top reasons that they are the right one for you. All right, put this back up here because I want you to make sure to do, because the conclaves are by Zoom only. I don't post them to the social media platforms. So if you're interested, that's how you do it. All right. So, all right. So let's shift. All right. Wisdom seeds for relationships. Now, while we're celebrating Eros, romantic love, and we've looked at and defined what romance is. Let's consider that it must be developed. Someone put it in the chat. That's number 8. Develop the gift of romance. Develop the gift of romance. What is romance? It is when you deliberately create special moments or memorialized events in someone's life. And when you are being romantic, what you are doing is you're becoming unforgettable by doing that which is to be unforgotten. And if you want to be unforgettable, then you have to do constantly unforgotten things, which is being romantic. Is being romantic. Yeah. So, Steen, blessings. Thank you for joining. All right. So, all right. All right. Let's see what we can hit to. All right. Let's see what we can hit on today. All right. Now, here's another truth or jewel or wisdom seed for, or rather on, relationships. Reprove with sensitivity. Reprove with sensitivity. A strong word, but reprimand or censor, terms used to define the term reprove. Criticism hurts, even when it's constructive. Oftentimes, when you're offering constructive criticism, you have to give the person a moment to receive it and process it. And unfortunately, it's filtered through their emotions. Criticism hurts even when you give it in love. So if you're going to be critical with your significant other, you must be intentional concerning time and sensitivity. It is your personal responsibility to provide caution, correction, and warnings when someone you love is on the brink of disaster. It is your personal responsibility. It is your personal responsibility. It is your personal responsibility to provide caution, correction, and warning when someone you love is on the brink of disaster. Your advice, your instructions is their opportunity for promotion from God. Warning before a fall. So if they are warned and do not fall, then what's next is promotion. So reprove with sensitivity. But the Bible says this in Proverbs 13, verse 8. It says, poverty and shame be to him that refuseth instruction, but he that regardeth reproof shall be honored or promoted. A promotion is when one is honored. Now it's just, remember, these wisdom seeds, truths, jewels will work not only in your romantic relationship, your relationship with your spouse or significant other, it'll work professionally and so on, all relationships. Create, here's next, create, rather, what am I saying? Celebrate those who celebrate you. If your significant other goes out of their way to celebrate you, or they're not even going out of the way, it's in their nature to celebrate you, you should be reciprocal in celebrating them. Those who discern your worth deserve special recognition. I cannot be a husband unless a woman has discerned my worth in being a husband. So if she has discerned this, my response should be special recognition. Now, I'll agree in some instances, especially among the assemblies, it can be over the top. But the whole concept of special recognition of one's spouse is biblical. Matthew 10, verse 11 through 13, and into whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy. This is what Jesus says. And there abide till ye go thence. And when you come into a house, salute it. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. What you gonna do with these three verses? It's right there. Those who discern your worth deserve special recognition. Even Jesus instructed his disciples to respect those who receive them and disconnect from those who rejected them. May I say this? Go where your contribution is celebrated, because Jesus did. In other words, wherever you're celebrated is where you're going to strive, thrive, and succeed. But make sure you qualify to be received and honored, because here's the flip side of that coin. There's some folk who jump on this and, oh, that's right, da, 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 da. Go where you're celebrated and so forth. You were celebrated where you were until you were no longer worthy of celebration. You're called to, wherever you are, and no matter whom you're with, you are called to be a problem solver, never to create problems. You're not compensated for the problems you create. You're compensated for the problems you solve. And so it was okay until you were no longer okay and worthy of recognition, that special recognition. You can't be always, there's some folk who just, I speak my mind. I think that we all should speak our minds, but we need to be cautious of what we speak and when we speak and how we speak. If your obsession with a person or situation cannot be monetized, cannot be recognized and honored, you need a new obsession. Because if it is proving to be a repeat performance for you everywhere you go, then you're not a solution. You are a problem, and it's just a matter of time where the new place celebrates you or celebrates your gift. That your gift will make room for you, but that same gift that has made room for you can become unreceived if you don't maintain the proper attitude, spirit, and character and integrity. See, receiving your gift is not necessarily receiving you, because you are not your gift. Somebody missed that. Receiving your gift is not necessarily a receiving of you, because once you're not flowing in your gift, what do you look like? How do you speak? How do you handle people? How do you handle the opportunity? It's Friday. So on Fridays, I go to 1:30 now, back to my original schedule. Fridays will be from 12 noon to 1:30. People tend to take their lunch breaks a little later, or there are different groups that come in at 12, 12:30, and 1. So I get this out. Thank you, Mother Torres. Yeah, receiving your gift, and remember, you're not your gift. You're not your gift. People can be blessed by the gift that you present while not receiving you as a gift. Apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers is described as gifts from Christ to the body. But the same elders who functions in the capacities of the apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers is giving the qualifications or the qualities or characteristics of the servant leader. When you look at the scriptures where it says, he who desires the office of a bishop, and then it lists those characteristics. This is what the gift, those who have a gift, should look like in character when they're not flowing in their gift, which now their gift makes the gifted a gift across the board. Food for thought. Are you listening to me? So celebrate those who celebrate you, but be celebrable or honorable. All right. Put this in the chat for me, Prophet McBain. Here's our next one. Here's our next one. Want your relationship to work? 3 words. Have 3 words. Talk it out. Relationships die through neglect. Don't expect others to read your mind. Voice your concerns over any offense and express your desire to make things right. Don't just approach the conversation with voicing your offenses, but also my objective is to make things right. Let me tell you how I feel and what you did to me, and I don't like that. See all that tone, that whole messaging, your tone, your body language, your attitude, it's all sending a signal. It's sending a message. You're here for the fight. So if you alarm me and arm me to battle, I must first become defensive for perseverance to preserve my life before I can address the issue. Your behavior, your hostility is threatening. It's making me unsafe at the moment. So now I go into defense mode. So then we spend time first fighting. And when we're fighting, I'm not listening. And if I'm listening to the signals to fight that you're sending me, not the offense and your desire to work it out. Please, would you do me a favor, Prophet McBain? Put this in the chat. Everyone that can. I'm gonna tone it down. I'm gonna change the pace because I believe this is a truth that will help you and your relationships. Silence waters the root of bitterness. Ladies and gentlemen, affairs begin when there is silence. And most affairs are not sexual in nature first. They are affairs of the heart first. Someone is talking to them. Someone is listening to them. Someone is being attentive to their wounds. Ladies, you like to talk it out. Most men don't know how to talk or fearful of talking because it makes them vulnerable. So they feel like it's going to be unsafe. And they shut down. And in shutting down, they become silent. You got to go back to how you guys hooked up. You hooked up through talking. If you cannot get him to talk, you are already losing him. And exits are not always immediate. Most people, well, ladies are more like this than men. Ladies will leave a relationship when that emotional connection is broken and there's a sense of permanency. They can stay in the same home, share the same space, share the same utilities and cars and so on, but then they begin to make their plan for their exit. Exits are not always immediate, but silence is an indicator that someone is left, someone is leaving. I can't get any help here. Ooh, I can't get any help here. Instagram, you'll be leaving me shortly because they only allow me 1 hour at a time. Ladies may be talking, or as they have gotten silence, they're done, and they're now making their exit plan, putting their monies in place, and this and so forth. They have their alliances in place where they're going, who whether it's in their parents' home or they're getting another place. But men will shut down and become silent and leave. And then what does the Bible says? For a man who is a visual creature, Jesus said, if a man looks on a woman and lusts after her, he has already committed adultery. He breaks it. He breaks the covenant in his mind through silence. Because now what has drawn him to you was what he saw. And not, it's not all curvaceous, yes, men are visual and yet they are drawn to physical attributes. But most men move beyond that. That isn't lasting. That isn't lasting. But what they look for, now I'm talking to you from a man or a male's perspective, is your behavior, your femininity, your agreeability, a lot of characteristics that is overlooked in the era of extensions and beauty and lashes and nails and purchase assets. The world, our culture is an extremely physical, beautiful place. But get the people talking, and that mouth reveals a heart that is not as beautiful as what's dressed up. And we got all of us, because this is a male and female thing now. When the costumes are removed, when the accessories is on the nightstand, okay, I'm still with you, but that mouth reveals, that attitude reveals, this is a heart I don't want to spend the rest of my life with, because I've got to share intimate spaces of home and time and automobile rides with a contentious spirit, which means there's going to be no peace. And the mature know this. Let me tell you what the mature know. The mature knows the older you get, the older you get, you want a decent place to call home, your bills and your obligations met in a timely fashion, but above all, whatever or whoever you're involved with, you want it to promote peace. Have you sown your seed? It's Friday. Seed of $24 or half of that, $12. Or today is the 16th of the month, a seed of $16. Maybe you can double that. Or it is the sixth day. It is the sixth day. It is the sixth day of the week. $6 or double it. Instagram, come on over to Facebook. Come into Facebook. Come on and continue this conversation. Come into Facebook. Come into Facebook. All right, I lose them once I've exceeded an hour. All right, let's see what we're saying here. Silence, Deborah is quoted, silence is an indicator someone is leaving or someone is left. Prophet McBain says, you're talking right, Pastor, unresolved issues, and then silence is a warning. Mother Torres says, true. Shelly Allen is laughing. Why are you laughing? What did I say that was humorous? Prophet says, sir, say that Elder Toms, if men are visual with their choices being visual, where does that give him room when when a man finds, I'm not certain what you're saying. If men are visual, with their choices being visual, right, as a result of them being visual, the first, well, both male and female are drawn by, but men being responding more to that which is physically attractive. And that goes back to the original intent and design that we see in historical times in the development of the human race. And even in some cultures that aren't as modern as ours are, the choice of a spouse or mate for a man or a male has to do with her body structure and design. Can they look at her and see that she is healthy, but not only healthy, does it appear that she's structured for a childbearing? Will she be able to give this man a child? So if men are visual with their choices being visual, where does that give him room when the saying, when a man finds a wife, he has found a good thing? That latter part, I'm not sure what you're asking. Angelina says, this is true. All right, Deborah, blessings to you for your seed. Vanessa, blessings. This goes both ways. Take it out before you run. Good looking woman isn't necessary. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that if I didn't make that clear, I agree with you. You know, I agree. I don't. You know, you know, we're living in an hour and a time in which the deception is at an all-time high, where what you see, which is highly physically attractive, is not necessarily what you're going to get. That's why I said, when all of that is taken away, then that mouth or the attitude reveals the heart. And men today are increasingly growing wiser and smarter because, at the end of the day, let me speak from a male perspective, and it's biblical in nature as well. No one wants to spend the rest of their life being, what's going on here? I feel like what's going on here? Let me just close this up because this cross is, and it's not being centered is driving me crazy. Wants to spend a lifetime being a provider, a protector, a priest for an individual or a home that does not respect them, or at minimum is cordial, kind, and decent and caring. I've heard women say things like, well, you're supposed to do this because you're my husband. Okay. If your husband is doing those things and you acknowledge that by the statement, well, you're supposed to do these things because you are my husband, I haven't heard you say what you're supposed to be doing. And then if he is bringing to the conversation those things that he has a concern with, that he finds offensive or disrespecting, it is met with a response. Well, I'm grown. I can do whatever I want to do. And this is me, and you got to, and the tone. And then has to deal with your allies, whether it's the in-laws or your girlfriend. So now he's your enemy in the home and the lifestyle that he is affording you. And now he runs the risk when it's over of losing you in all of it or half of it. See, there was a time in which women were saying there was no benefit to be married, and they were just hooking up to conceive children, which is still going on today. But the covenant is beneficial to both, and both become one. So as a counselor, as a pastor, it's one who sit in these spaces, and whether with a few or hundreds of thousands, when there are people who do reach out to me and relate to me their experiences, and I'm here. And if you notice, look at the nation's pulpits in most circles now. What is common is something that was foreign. And what my first pastorate, I was told, demanded for ordination and installation, I had to have a wife. When I went south for those 3 to 4 years, I was in the South in Georgia. There were some ministry opportunities that were not afforded to me because I was estranged from my wife. And even being considered for a pulpit, one of the first things they wanted to know, do you have a wife? Now you're seeing more and more, both male and female, but more male. They're launching churches, starting churches, or being called to churches as a single man. And they're making it clear to a church that would desire to hire them, or the traditional term, call them, if you want me to be married for the sake of being married and the sake of imagery, I'm not with that. I'll start my own church. And that church is often, you know, you look around, there's some churches that are thriving with singles because the times are shifting, and they're shifting as a result of entertainment that has a major influence on our communities, on our people. I could spend another hour on this right here alone. So I agree. You know, a man or a woman, the more attractive they are, it does not mean the success of the relationship, because I believe this: some of the people, especially who are over the top with being beautiful, are some of the worst when it comes to character and basic decency and consideration, because while they're obsessing on the external, they're not growing on the interior, they're not growing internally. They have no idea. I was talking to an individual a few months back, not in a relationship or anything like that. I'm just saying, hearing them out in just the conversation was just listening to them, and I was trying to get them to, you know, and hear me. I'm not a proponent of that, you know, toe up and busted mentality to prove your religion, religiosity, you know. Yeah. But I know a lot of persons whose issue is a third or half of their budget, or rather half a third or a half or more of their income is spent hair, nails, clothes. So many clothes that you have nowhere to house them, store them. Shoes that you can't afford, bags that you, if you were to be displaced today, for non-payment of your rent, do you have the resources to move and put that stuff in storage? You know, some communication and conversation is crazy today. Why do you want that big old house? Because I need 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms to be converted into my walk-in closet. It's 7 days a week. How many? I get that you want to change things up. I do. But when you're buying outfits to wear for one day or one occasion and then store it in the 2 bedrooms that you've converted into this huge walk-in closet, because now you have 1,000 shoes and 1,000 blouses, and maybe I'm exaggerating, but you understand what I'm saying. There are some people who do this, and then the garage, you can't park the car in the garage because you've got stuff stored there as well. So are you paying a mortgage and or rent to store your different costumes? Because that's what they become, based on your emotions for the day or the moment. Or I feel like Pocahontas today, so I want the long braids touching my derriere. You know, or now tomorrow I want a bob, but now I've got to wear an outfit that makes all of, you know, that's going to insinuate that, that's going to make that pop. So a third or half of your income is spent on depreciating, because once you wear the lashes, you can't resell them. There's no value to them. You know, it's what's custom. Who can, you know, who can, if it's custom to you, who can, so there's no resale value. You know, there was, like I said, there was a person that I was trying to get to see. You're spending most of your money on your look, but your look, you can't. And I think here's one of the things. See, a model has monetized her look. If no one is paying you for your look, because they're going to compensate you accordingly to continue to look that way, they'll pay you enough money that you can, and then most models are gifted what you've seen them in. And then models are for those hours of the shoot. They'll walk into a room with a sweatsuit on, much like myself. You know, they walk in, all right, makeup, hair, lights and cameras. Some of you may need to get the basic neutral earth tone colors items and shift them, blah, 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 blah. And then the occasional, you know, we were taught how to do so. You know, I grew up in a home where we had school clothes, play clothes, church clothes. So, you know, a lot of times I'm complimenting on certain things. You know, that's nice. I know you've been shopping. No, I have not. After all these years of adult living and working, I've acquired stuff, and I've maintained it. I have stuff, but I've given away a lot of stuff. It's rare that I sell anything. You have no difference of what you can sell and what you can sow. And when a period of time has expired and I no longer have use of it or need it, may someone else be fortunate. And, you know, I'm worried about our influence as a faith community when there's so many deceptions in the pulpit. I've asked a question in our conclaves. I've asked questions, and I might get in trouble in this space, but the question: when did it become okay for the pulpit to be so sexy? It's not only sexy, but sensual, both male and females. Bodycon dresses, not only on the praise and worship leaders, but the preaching, you know. I mean, when did it become okay? When did it become okay? And then most of those people, they want your offerings to pay for their look and lifestyle, and their message is subpar. It does not move you to Jesus. It moves you to you're endeared to them while they divide you from others. Oh, do I still get the, hey, girl, I didn't know you was on here. Do I still get to minister for your preachers network? Saturday, Saturday, November 9th. Yeah. Hey, Sharice, evangelist. You know, there was a time that you know and it in some circles it's still a requirement. It's not. It's a requirement. It's a requirement. MITs in our church can be an MIT indefinitely. I don't. Nope. You're not going to do this. You're not a year or 2 or 3. You're going to be acknowledged as an MIT for a period of time. I don't care how great you sound in preaching. I want to hear the message, the substance in the message. Then I want to see your life reflect that message. So I've let MITs go through several phases. What is this crazy look you got going on? This is crazy. What this says to me is that it's not about the message or the messenger who sends through you his message. Your style, your behavior, and especially your dress is saying, look at me. This is not a pulpit. This is not an altar. This is a stage to promote myself. It's a place where my need to be needed and to feel wonderful about myself. So it provides the opportunity. See, why get up there and it's barely prayed today. It's barely prayed, you know. Hey, Sharice, and I'm sure you've heard this. We all recited portions of prayers that we heard our pastors pray. And one of the portions of their prayer was, Lord, as I stand, hide me behind the cross, that I might not be seen, but that you may be heard. I actually asked the Lord, use me and don't refuse me. Grace me with preaching power to compel men, women, boys, and girls of all ages to come to thee. One of what the late Bishop William Albert Watson Jr., my pastor for over 30-something years, I lived with him for about 8 to 9 years. And our bedrooms were next to each other. One day he came into my bedroom, he said to me, he said, do you have any other colors? I said, sir? He said, and he could see into my closet. He says, all I see is black and white. And I noticed when you're in church, just all you wear is black suits, white shirts, black ties, black shirts. He thought that it was just one suit that I was wearing, but to discover that I had several black suits. The style was similar, at most 2 buttons, maybe 3 buttons, white shirt, black shirts. And then I would have black pants and a black blazer, single-breasted, double-breasted, whatever. But he was absolutely shocked. And so he said to me, he said, well, you don't have any other color? I said, no. I said, the Lord spoke to me and told me to only minister in black and white. He said, I don't believe that. God's a God of color. I mean, he went to fuss now. I wasn't going to fuss with my pastor and my landlord because I can go there. At that time, I certainly could go there. I wasn't going there. But then afterwards, a few months later, he came to me and he said, son, the way that God uses you. And then Elder Jones, you know this is true. Your godfather, you know I'm telling the truth. Because he had this conversation with you. He said two things about my morbid colors, and he called my bedroom the black hole because the only thing I do in there is sleep or study. That's what he would say about me. But months passed, maybe a year, and he brought it up again, and it became the segue for me to say to him, God, when God spoke to me and told me to wear black and white, he said to me, when the Lord spoke to me, because I was resistant and I disobeyed on a number of occasions until the Lord forced it upon me to obey. He said, the anointing makes you so charismatic that I don't want anything to upstage or compete in those moments in which I anoint you. And then I learned, while I thought that black was just for mourning, but actually black also is the color of the servant. So he told me don't wear garbs that were embellished, but most of all, just black suit, white shirt, black tie, or all black suit, black tie. And in many instances, even though I've modernized my look occasionally, I'm in all black. Or if I am in civilian wear, it's more on a conservative level. It's a deliberate attempt to hide me, so I could know him to make him known, and I am not a part of the problem, but the solution. Shannon says the message and messenger don't mirror on another. Yeah. Stage. All right. Who else? All right. Blessing. I still wear a robe when I preach. Yeah. And so you're young and energetic. So it's good that you would wear a robe. Cameron, hey, man of God, is that my dude? Is that my dude? Is that my dude? Yeah. Yeah, prophet, sir. Black is the color of a servant. Yes, also color. Young preachers need to hear this. Yeah, what they should do, and I've already began working on my message for your meeting, and it's a call to consecration. And I'm gonna look at three things, just 3 points. But Evangelist Harris, this is volume 1, Young Preacher's Advice, and volume 2. Yeah, I was called at 15, and I have been licensed. I was licensed at 17, 18. Pastored my first church around 2021. Here, and y'all got me moving out of, yeah. Well, young preacher's advice number 1: your call is to preach the gospel and also to serve those to whom you preach. Affirmation, licensing, and ordination are not your chances for ministry to work for your personal gain. It is for you to work the ministry for the gain of others. As a minister, you lose your right to be served, but instead gain the opportunity to serve others. Advice number 2, young preachers: worship, do not profile, do not sit in judgment or spectate or network. When in church, worship the Lord. Yeah. Number 6, young preacher's advice: curb the shade. It only impresses those that are shady and immature. Yeah. And so let's see here. This volume 1 has 50. What's 50? No, it has 52. it was designed to be a weekly read and study. Number 2, young preachers advice. He who would cry loud is first asked to cry aloud. And then let me see, let me just skip over here. Advice number 55, he that will hear from God for others must hear from God for him or herself. So, all right, these are truths. I'm sure I'm 9 minutes over time, so let me prepare for my exit. Prophet McBain says 42 years of incredible service worthy of the 60th. You're so honorable. Thank you. I almost forgot. And come the 17th, that's next. Wait, no, the 25th. A pre-birthday celebration is taking place in the afternoon. Y'all all make it to the Life Chapel. 5:30 p.m. Get over there. Apostle Bishop T.L. Penny is going to be in the house. We're going from the licensing service of the 4 o'clock to the beginning of my celebration. And then there's the official celebration on the 17th. All right, Pam O'Neill, you prophesied to me one day at Reverend Watson's church, and it came true, and you told me to bring my bills to the altar. I did. Bill paid in full. I will never forget you. I'm honored, Sister Pam O'Neill. To God be the glory. It's his call on my life. Hey, y'all, listen, my final, well, we'll pick this up on Monday of next week, President's Day, special 12 noon, live with yours truly. I'm going to start with resurrect hope in your someone today. Resurrect hope in someone. This is relationship, seed of wisdom. It's a truth. It's a night. All right. So blessings. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Blessings. Thank you for joining. All right. Please bring these books with you in March. You know what? You might just move me to, I'm out. Volume 1 is available on Amazon. And it's just a small cost of $5. It's available. I did volume 2. I did volume 2 as just publication because as I was doing a lot of ministers' conferences, I actually wanted them to purchase it. And this became our instruction manual. We walked through it. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. Shalonda, what are you talking? Come call me. Nah, we got a degree. The homework is on you. Is that my baby? Oh, let me look at her picture. Oh, she didn't get grown up in the face. Look at you. That's my college student. I remember when she was she's always so pleasant. Ravon, how did you raise such a pleasant daughter? Just pleasant, peaceful spirit, was just always kind. And then she had that look in her eyes where I see in a lot of children where they look at the pastor and they just have this respect and this honor for him. Look at you, look at you. Yeah. Bless you, Warwick Guinness. Bless you, man of God. Yeah, you did an excellent job, Ron. Excellent job, precious heart. And I'm just so pleased and proud that she's pursuing her education. Still look like she's about 14, 15, 16 years old. Well, she better come see me. You know how I feel about it. She's home, come see me. I want to look in her face and I want to pray over her and I want to bless her. Yeah. Hey, y'all. I'm going to let you go. This has been a great time 1 hour and 34 minutes. And I committed to an hour and a half. I didn't sign on at 12 noon. I was having some work done here in my home, and it sounded like they was trying to tear the walls apart, banging and knocking. And I didn't want you guys to hear all that, because no matter what I did, I couldn't hide it. The last 2 days, I actually separated from the space while doing the lives. I was able to do the Zooms, and was able to do the Zooms. Yeah, I was able to do the conclaves, and because they worked during the day. But when he left today, he says, work complete. And then look, I didn't know problems with the internet and the Wi-Fi and all of that stuff. It seemed like we're back on point. So, hey, I encourage you to do what today? Sow your seed. These broadcasts are made possible through your generosity. You are my partner as my voice is used to spread the good news to the unbelievers that Jesus Christ saves, and to every believer, words of edification, comfort, and exhortation. I certainly appreciate you. I want to see you in the place on Sunday, first in this same space at 9 a.m. Saturday tomorrow, there'll be text blast and a shutout. RJ, you get in here and you get my notifications. Text those letters ACM to 866-922-2147, and daily you'll receive notifications and updates what's going on. And you can join me in the evening for the various conclaves, prayer and the conclaves, and then revival continues Sunday, 9 a.m. in this space, in the chapel at 12:30 prayer, and then 1 p.m. we come live, 1 p.m. down to about 2:30 to about 2:30, max 3 o'clock. So the other part of the ministry that will be offline, you can receive if you're in person. All right. And don't forget, 4 o'clock, fellowship at 4. Fellowship at 4, Community Church of Christ, Jamaica, Queens, Bishop Mitchell. And then Shelton, Connecticut, the Marriott in Shelton, Connecticut, with Prophet Leak. Don't just meet me, beat me there. Until we gather in this space again, but most of all tonight at 7:30, all you got to do is do what? Go ahead, text those letters, ACM. Until then, remember these words. If it's not on your mind, it's not in your future. Elevate your mind, your feet will follow. Your prophetic word. Something good is getting ready to happen to you. Something good is coming out of all you've been going through. Shalom, shalom, shalom. God bless.
Something is going to happen to you.
Change your life, change your day, 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 change.